today I'm going to show you how to make an Among Us bookmark. So this is from the video game, and you can pick up a free take and make kit at the Columbus or Saluda Library this week with all of the materials for this activity. So we're going to use special origami paper for this project. So inside your kit you have 2 pieces of paper, and they should match in color. And then you have 2 pieces of white paper. And you'll also have a black permanent marker and a glue stick. Now, some supplies that you may want to grab from home just to make this project a little easier are a ruler, a pair of scissors, and 2 colored pencils. And this is going to be to color the windshield of the character. Okay? All right, so to get started, I'm going to move my paper over to the side and start with 1 piece of paper, and I'm going to fold it in half so that it makes a triangle. Okay, so I have a triangle shape. Looks just like this. For the next step, I'm going to take the front part of my triangle and I'm going to fold it down to touch the bottom edge of my triangle. So it looks just like this. The next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 2 sides, so I've got one side here and one side here, and I'm going to fold them up to touch this top point of our triangle. So I'm going to fold them up, and then I'm going to fold this one up. And if I'm moving too fast, you can stop the video and rewind it. That way you can catch back up. So I've got 2 little flaps here. Okay. And these I'm actually going to fold down and tuck inside this middle triangle. I'm going to tuck it all the way inside. That way my points are nice and crisp on my bookmark. So I've got one tucked in, and now I'm going to tuck in this other side. Okay, and this is what makes the bookmark stay on our book page, is this little pocket here. So it will stick on our book page in just a minute. Okay, now this is where we get to draw our Among Us character. So with your paper, you're going to lay it face down, and the pocket is going to be on the bottom. Okay, so I've got the pocket on the bottom. And I'm going to take a ruler and I'm going to measure over to the correct size of my Among Us character. Now for me, I'm going to use my ruler's width, and I'm just going to use that as my size guideline for my character. Okay, so I've made a mark that goes all the way from top to bottom, and I'm going to cut that. It is going to cut part of our pocket, but that's okay. Okay, so now I have a rectangle, and on the back is that part of our pocket I was talking about. Okay. The next step is to draw the shape of the Among Us character, and that's kind of like a rounded shape. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to round these corners. And I'm also going to go ahead and draw their feet. So to make the feet, you're going to make like a U shape on the bottom of your paper. And we're going to cut that out in just a minute. So I've rounded my corners with my pencil, and I've drawn my U shape down at the bottom. And now I'm going to cut that to make our character shape. So I've cut one side, now I'm going to cut the other side. Okay, so now our rectangle has a curved top to it, and that's the head of our character. And then I'm going to use my scissors and cut the legs, and that's the U shape that's at the bottom. Okay, so there's the feet and the head. Okay, and here's my pocket still on the back. Now that I've got that much done, I'm going to take my other piece of paper and I'm going to trace this shape on the paper because I need another character to glue on the back. all the way around traces so you can see his outline here. And I'm going to cut that out. And around my corners. And I'm going to use my glue stick next, so make sure you have that ready to go. Okay, so there's the second part of our character. I'm going to flip over our bookmark so that the pocket part is showing, and I'm going to put glue on the pocket part. Just on the pocket part. We don't want to put it on the bottom part of this side, otherwise our bookmark won't stay on our page. So we're just putting it on this top flap. And we're going to put our character, our one that we just drew, we're going to put it on the back. And you may need to take your scissors and shape it back up to match the front. So mine is a little big, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to shape it up. I'm going to make sure that the legs are even on both sides. Okay, and the top looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to move some of my paper scraps out of the way. So now we've got the body of our character, and it's got this little pocket, so it'll stay on our book. Okay. Now we have to add the backpack shape. So the backpack shape is kind of like the letter D. So if you can draw the letter D on your paper, that's the shape that you're going to go with for your backpack. And I think I made mine too big, but that's okay. We can trim it up. Like I said, it's just like making the letter D, and it's going to go on the back of our character, just like this. So I'm going to glue that on right now. There it is so far. Now we have to add the windshield part of our character. So for this, I'm going to just cut out like a circle shape. I'm going to draw it first because I don't trust myself with this one. So we're going to kind of cut out the window, and it's a funny shape. It's not an oval, but not a letter D either. It kind of looks like a seed to me. So it's got a bigger bottom and a smaller top. Let's see, and it's going to be easier for me to color this while it's on my paper before I cut it out. So the very bottom, I'm using a dark blue color. I'm coloring in. And then I'm going to use a light blue color and just do a little bit on top of that. And I'm going to outline it with my Sharpie. So when I cut it out in just a minute, I'm going to cut on the outside of the Sharpie because I want to leave the black part there. That way it really pops out on my bookmark. So I have this so far, and now I'm going to cut it out. And I want to leave that black mark on the outside. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this part on before going to our last step. Got this glued on. This is going to go more towards the front of our character, so the backpack's over here, and this is on the front, more towards that side. And our last step is outlining our character with our Sharpie. So for this, you may want to put down a piece of paper, or I'm going to use a paper plate to outline. And I'm going to go all the way around my character with a Sharpie. my Sharpie, and I am all finished with my bookmark. So now your bookmark will slide in between your two pages, just like that.